Hello, everyone. Welcome to that part of the week where I get to read all your YouTube comments. That's right. If you want to be in this video, leave a YouTube comment. You might get in there. And, of course, like and subscribe. That'd be very cool. We're going to get right in there with Mr. Mox Moonstone, a YouTube member. BT15 cards are expensive because nobody wants to open BT15 without box toppers or other incentives. The price of the box has to go somewhere. Yes, that's part of it. I mean, it does not help that some supers are expensive because they're harder to pull. However, on this note of people not wanting to open BT15, I don't know if I caused a rift in the time space to continuum, but I received messages like in the last day or two where people were like, yeah, I think I want to start opening some BT15 boxes, like actual stores buying more from the distributor because they have a bunch, a lot, and just opening them up and listing singles and all that. So I don't know if I caused that, but more people want to open BT15 now. Will it have an impact on the market? It might, but I do think it's interesting. BT15 is one of those weird sets. It's got good cards in it, but no real reason to open up except to try to pull the good cards, and that's literally it. It's amazing the attitude on boxes when there's a box topper versus not a box topper. And we're seeing it actively play out here in BT15. Super Chuck Norris, man, also YouTube member. Apparently they're doing an Ancient Goblimon with Lobomon support in Japan. Yes, the Lobomon and Garurumon stuff is popping off in Japan right now, which is nice. Still, the price confidence is with the Ancient Greymon line, which makes sense because Ancient Greymon is better by a lot. But if Japan, if it becomes some kind of like insane best deck of the format, then it'll change things. Also, don't forget the key rule of North American TCG Digimon players. North Americans love their blue decks. So here in this part of the world, when we get the stuff, it'll probably be the Ancient Garurumon package that gets the most love, even though the Ancient Garurumon package is better, like objectively speaking. And I base that objectively based on what the cards and packages do and how quickly they can end the game with other support and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes here for sure. But that is true. It is in Japan doing things. Noah, my YouTube member Judge Man. Hexalbalmon's getting a full line, which is why it's spiking. I bought a whole set at Altar for 50 cents. I should have bought a whole store out. You should have. And now you've learned. And now you've learned. Goku. As someone from Chile, I would love to have this there. We got at the start of the month the, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, open, and 64 people came for an old set and a pack of trainings, so this would be a massive for us. There's a lot of people in the comment section on my video praising Bandai for their store regionals, basically saying, yeah, but what about the rest of the world? Which, honestly, is a fair critique, and Bandai should do better, and they should allow a lot of stores to do it. Now, here we have a different attitude on it. Wukong says, my biggest gripe about store regionals is that you need 2 judges to run the event. Unlike store championships in the past, these shops can't just run these events and you play in them. Running this event is solely based on if your local scene has 2 people who are 1, a judge, and 2, don't want to play and get prizing your invite. They're going in the right direction with bringing store champs back, but it will be harder for most stores to run these events. I think there's one more comment about another critique. Yeah, from Skull. The biggest concern I have is that stores need to have the capacity to seat 64 players to run these events, which severely limit who can host them unless they run them off-site, which is its own problem. Toronto, for instance, has only 2 locals that can support that many players, and one of them has to use a bunch of mall space to do it. So, obviously, there's definitely some cons with the store original thing and some concerns, right? You need to have judges. Not all stores can do it. These are all valid concerns. However, these are fixable. One is fixable by Bandai getting more judges. That would be cool. That'd be really nice if Bandai would just get more judges. But also, stores might need to get creative. They might need to get creative. Like for instance, at my small little gaming store in Belleville, Ontario, I can make 64 people fit comfortably. I'm a very small store, but I have the capacity to make that happen. If I can do it, and I'm very small, it doesn't mean that other stores can't do it. They have to try. They have to actually use their brains and come up with a solution. So, again, this is a trial process for this year, I'm sure. It will definitely impact how things go in the future and what needs to be fixed. And we'll see what happens, effectively. Adam TCG, if you're Canadian and you're looking at TCG Player to compare prices, then you should know there are little dozens of more listing from vendors who do not ship to Canada and are usually hidden from view when we go look. Oh, I know. I've covered this on the channel before. And I'll do it again right now. Right now I'm looking at Lorcana cards. Oh, a different one. I don't know. Whatever. This one. And you can filter somewhere. Oh, down here maybe. To Canada. Canada, eh? Boop. Well, if it lets me do it. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Like that. And it changes everything. It reduces the amount of listings available. Now, I should have done this with a Digimon example. Maybe I can still do a Digimon example. Let's go over here. And let's go over... Yeah, see how everything's all of a sudden out of stock? Because in Canada, there is no one on TCG Player that can buy an Angelomon Ace Altart. No store will sell to Canada. But if you change it back to the United States, and you save location, maybe this is a bad example. Now there we go. Okay, I had to refresh the page. Oh, everything comes right back up. I've covered this before. I know. I live in Canada, eh? I'm probably the most Canadian Digimon player out of all of them. That might be a bit of a stretch, but I think you know what I mean. The reason I have to use TCG Player and why I decided to do it when I was the first person to start market watches in the Digimon community, therefore everyone else is copying me. When I decided to do this, I knew that my base was 80% American at the time. It would be foolish to not use TCG Player. And Canadians, to a certain extent, use TCG Player to base prices. To a certain extent. I've covered this before too. Not all Canadians use TCG Player to reflect their own prices. Sometimes I don't. I just don't. Because you can't, right? There's a supply, there's demand, there's other factors. I've been in it before, I'm not going to get into it right now. But yeah, it's odd that I'm Canadian, use a TCG Player to review the cards, but it is what it is. It's the world we live in anyway. Goblu Stan 69, of Impact Mat 5, Ishida going crazy right now. It's up to 30 after being 12-17 for a long time. Yeah, we covered this a while ago. I told you, get your mats. It'll go up in price. So, hope you did. Taurus Fire. It's me, the Mega Dramon fan that would probably pay with that price because I make bad decisions with money. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't pay that price. If you want to make bad decisions with money, tell you what. Watch my Twitch stream, gift me subs. I would really appreciate that. Mailman Sivner. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. Came for the fun, stayed for the existential crisis of realizing nothing matters. It's true. At the end of the day, all these YouTube channels, all these Digimon trading card games and other card games, they don't matter. I'll leave it at that. Apollo Spark 6019. Hot take. People confuse unfun with unfair. Apocalypse was unfun, but it was fair. You needed setup, and it wasn't an instant win. Magna X, though, you could potentially get into it one turn. Let's see this. You can play Yellow Ace for 4 memory just to dissolve into it. Multiple ways to reduce Digi cost and Digi for free, full of 4 to 5. Like, okay. I understand where this guy is going. I really do. I think the example escaped itself. I've never done a turn 1 Magna X. I've done turn 2 a bunch of times, but never turn 1. Theoretically, you can do it, yeah. If your opponent goes first, they evolve Rookie in the back, play Memory Tamer, then yeah, you can play Magna Ace and evolve into Magna X. You can do that. You know, that's a thing you can do. You can do that. But, you know, I understand the point of view, though. How this guy believes that Magna X is not fair. Apocalypse, to an extent, also wasn't fair. But, again, this is an interpretation subjective thing. I knew that Apocalypse was the best deck in the format, but by no means was it a instant win if you played this. As evident by the Ultimate Cup, where it was legal and Numemon won. Right? So, you know, Digimon will incorporate all sorts of unfun and unfair things. It's the players that enjoy the game that need to find their way to enjoy those game states, basically. So rad, Joey. I love as per tradition. Keep it doing it. Haters can get blitzed for game. It's true. Can I get a blitz in the chat right now? Chef Stir Pot. Did we just forget this is a preview comic, or are we ignoring the little factoid? Also, anyone who honest to God expected an online client announcement out of this, sorry. This is why I don't have expectations for things. I will be real. I forgot that Chapter 0 was just a sample. I forgot. I straight up forgot. So that's on me. I effed that up. That's my bad. However, on stream, I tried to read Chapter 1. It took forever to load, arguably because it took a long time to load because everyone was wanting to read it, whatever. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, after it loaded and I read it, I just wasn't impressed. And I was reading it on stream, like the first little bit, and I was just like, wow. You could tell that I was like not excited. That it was just like, you ever try to like, I don't know, watch paint dry? That's how I felt reading Chapter 1. It was just, it's not for me. Now, on the other thing though, remember my stance on this. There were people that actually were fully 100% committed on the fact that an online client was coming. Me, my stance was always, it would be nice, but I'm not expecting that, because expecting Bandai to do great things is like expecting to control the weather. It's not something that can just kind of happen. But no, it's true. Yeah. That's all for that. But I wanted to cover this comment because I did F that little bit up. However, my stance after reading Chapter 1, it's still the same. It's, in my opinion, not for me. I'll just leave it at that. I've used that statement a lot today. I'm leaving a lot of things off. I should really make a YouTube video one day of the whole things that I just said. I'll leave it for later. Zaborg. I think they went a webcomic because it's a lot cheaper than anime. But yes, absolutely should have been anime. There was a comment. I don't know if I included it or not. No, I didn't include it. There was a comment that was basically like, well, of course not going to make an anime. Animes are expensive. And there's also comments that are like, it's Toei that does the animes, not Bandai, blah, blah, blah. Here's my thing, okay? Webcomic is cheaper, but, you know, as a prestigious company that Bandai is, like, is cutting corners the way? You know what I mean? Making an anime, spending the more money would require to make an anime, would not be cutting corners. It would be just providing a great service and making some money off of it. And it would have done the same thing as the webcomic in a sense, in terms of who it would bring into the game and all that, blah, 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 still other things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of anyone that thinks that, you know, making it an anime is the wrong move. I think those people are stupid, but it's not a big deal at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Bandai does what Bandai wants. If we expect Bandai to appease every fan, they never will. There are only a few surefire things they could do that would please almost everybody. For example, increasing tournament caps would please the competitive players, all of them. Doing more in-person events would please a lot of people who want to travel. Less people, arguably, than the event cap thing, but still. And an online client would please so many people. And they'd make so much money off of it if they just copied and pasted the DBS Fusion World 1 into Digimon. But again, Bandai will do what Bandai wants. They'll do what they want. Sigmund. They really overhyped it. I'm fine with the webcomic, but they hyped it and teased it like it was way more than what it is. And I believe that is what generated the most negativity. Well, that's true, right? And you know the best example I can come from this? The recent Marvel movies. They advertise trailers. They make the movies look good, but then you go watch Miss Marvel in theaters and you wish you stuck like a knife in your eyeball. That's basically the same thing as the webcomic. They hyped it up really well in the trailer part, and now you got a bunch of people that want to stab themselves in the eye with a knife. Now, there are some people out there that like the bad Marvel movies, like Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and all that, the Eternals. And those people, no, I gotta be careful how I word this. There will be people like that, but in the Bandai space, who like the webcomic because they just will like the webcomic. And it's okay. If you like the webcomic, I've said before, all power to you, have fun. I'm not going to take a dump in your cornflakes. But, you know, we can't expect everyone to willingly conform to one side or the other. You know what I mean? I just stand here from my camera. I'm actually sitting right now, and I'm just telling you my point of view. But I'm just one random person on the internet. Do I matter really that much? No, not really. Ashes Fall 9530. I'd rather buy the pre-sales than go to Dunkin' Donuts. So many better places out there. And this guy is looking for Far Quads, Wrath, and Roast. Yeah, Ashes Fall. This is the dumbest comment out of the week. Um, Stupid. Actual brain dead. You should feel bad, and I hope you seek mental help for such a stupid comment. Damien Carr, 168. I promise you the Garudamon hype isn't because of some topping lists. It's because DigiPanda recently talked about rulings. It's like Garudamon Ace kills Magnex, Blast Evo, and play out a Tamer. I knew the moment I saw it that the card was going to spread its market flux. That's really interesting because that's common knowledge. Well, I guess to me, that's common knowledge. To a lot of people, it's common knowledge too. But yeah, it falls under Digituber impacts card, and then it goes up in price. But when it happens with someone else, there's no market manipulation, no accusations, nothing like that. Just a fun fact. And finally, Lost the File TCG. A YouTube member. Unfortunately, with the timing of the next regionals, June 1st, we only have two options available. You either buy enough sealed product to guarantee you can build what you want, need, or you buy pre-sale prices on your favorite Facebook marketplace group in order to get in time. Sticking with the sealed product, but I'll be playing insects. Or there's the third option. You live in an area where you can just go to an LGS, they're cracking singles, and you can buy them. That's a thing too. Anyway, yeah, it's it is how it is with card games. That's why some card games will wait, like Pokemon. They'll wait a few weeks before legalizing after a set comes out, and but some games like Yu-Gi-Oh, the set will come out on the Friday, and the regional will be with that set on the Saturday. It is what it is. What do you guys think about today's comment reviewing section? Let me know, and I'll see you later. Bye.